Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido, Loca. Welcome back to the channel. I have a video for you today that could be a little controversial, a sensitive topic. It's about people going overboard, and I want to explore the question today: does the cruise line do enough to make sure that people don't go overboard, and do they do enough to detect people going overboard? What really is the cruise line's responsibility? And more than that, what is the individual's responsibility? Certainly one of the most tragic things to happen at sea is when someone goes off the side of the cruise ship into the water and perishes. This happens, it's highlighted in the news. These are stories that come to the forefront that garner a lot of attention. And there is always the question, could it have been prevented? And could the cruise lines be doing more to prevent people from going overboard? Just this week, there was the tragic story of the man who perished after going overboard on the Royal Caribbean Symphony of the Seas. The cruise ship was able to stop, reposition, and go back to the spot where the man had gone overboard, but by the time they'd gotten to him, he had perished. In doing research for this video, I did find an article on the Quartz website, qz.com, and it's called "People Fall Off Cruise Ships with Alarming Regularity. Can Anything Be Done to Stop It?" There are some interesting statistics cited in that Quartz article, one of them being that the odds of falling overboard on a cruise ship is about 1 in 7 million. The article goes on to state that the incidence of man overboard or mobs, they represent about 2 per month. So in a given year, 22 to 24 people go overboard on a cruise ship. And put that in perspective, 22 people out of the 30 million people that will cruise in 2019, again at the time of the writing of the Quartz article, about 1 in 7 million chance to go overboard. Another interesting statement made in the Quartz article is a quote from representatives for CLIA. Now, CLIA is a cruising industry organization. They do things like certified travel agents. So if you're booking travel for someone else, when you interface with the cruise line, they're going to ask you things like what your CLIA number is. CLIA is one of those things that certifies that you're legitimate in the travel industry, and again, they lobby on behalf of the cruise industry. They're an organization that looks out for cruising. So with that in mind, CLIA's perspective is that there are no mobs that have occurred that haven't been a result of an intentional or reckless act. They go on to say there are no known incidents of individuals acting responsibly who have accidentally fallen over the rails of a cruise ship. The cruise lines themselves have built the railings at a height that makes falling off of a cruise ship virtually impossible if you're acting responsibly. This is the contention of CLIA, and I do believe that most people accept that idea. Most people would say that going off the cruise ship is either one, an intentional act, somebody who is choosing to jump off the cruise ship, and number two, could be a scenario where the person is impaired primarily by alcohol. There are many documented cases of people who have consumed alcohol and have gone overboard. And that really is the rub. Some may argue that the cruise line has already done enough to make sure that people do not go overboard on the cruise ship. You might argue that you cannot predict when somebody is going to try to take their own life. And you also can argue that you don't know how people are going to act when they have not controlled themselves and maybe have possibly consumed too much alcohol. You cannot predict the judgment or the lapse in judgment that may cause someone to sit on a railing, to lose their balance, and fall overboard. And it could also be argued that there is a process in place for once they realize that somebody's fallen off the cruise ship just doesn't leave people there. They go back, they search the area. They do have a process in place. And so it's not like they haven't done anything. They've created a cruise ship in a way that if you act responsibly, that you will not fall off the cruise ship. And there is a process in place if you do fall off the cruise ship for how to respond. Now, on the other side, you could also say, sure, you've made the railing high enough that where people won't fall off of it. But don't you have some sort of responsibility for people acting in a way that they shouldn't? Don't you have a responsibility when you serve somebody copious amounts of alcohol that you got to make sure they don't fall off the cruise ship? And how about your procedure for people that are going overboard? Do you have an indication, an alarm that lets people know quickly that somebody's gone overboard? And how quickly can you get back to the spot where you were when it happened? Is there something more that you could do in that circumstance? Now, it's easy to understand the side that says, look, the cruise line should do everything possible to make sure that people don't go overboard. And in addition to that, if people do go overboard, they should have the most robust process in place to ensure that people survive that event. Now, statistically, it's about a 15 to 20% survival rate, so it's really not good. If you go overboard, the odds of surviving are really against you. And so people are saying, look, you know, you got to get that percentage up, and that's going to require a better detection system, a better way to get back to the person that goes overboard. And I think all of those things are valid, but if you think about cruising from a business perspective, if you think about it from just the numbers, which unfortunately that's the way business works, you got to ask yourself the insensitive question: in a scenario where only 1 out of 7 million people go overboard on a cruise ship, and adding to that, that most of the time it's their fault, should the business really be pressed to spend more money to solve a problem that affects so few people? Look, I get it. It's super insensitive. The way to go is just to say, save all the people all the time. But it costs money. There is some new technology on the scene. A company called PureTech Systems, they've developed a man overboard detection system, and they've offered some interesting data in their marketing presentation. One that sticks out to me: it takes a full mile for a cruise ship to stop. So if someone goes overboard, the cruise ship has to stop. It has to turn. It has to reposition to go back to the same area. It takes about a mile for that to happen. And another interesting piece of information in their material is that imagine for 15 minutes you don't know that somebody's gone overboard. How far will the cruise ship travel in 15 minutes? Well, that's 7 miles. So the point that they're trying to make in their marketing material is that you've got to know at the moment someone goes overboard that that's happened, so that you can immediately go into action. Their solution is built off a camera system that will immediately alert cruise ships when people go overboard. Their claim is that their technology is tuned in to make sure that there are no false positives, and that at the moment someone goes overboard, someone will be alerted, alarm will be sounded, and the process can start. Now, I couldn't find a cost for this system, and so I don't know what it would cost to put this system on every cruise ship. Let me circle it back around to the insensitive business question. What's the responsibility of the cruise line in a scenario where only 1 out of every 7 million people go overboard, where the people that go overboard are acting irresponsibly or reckless, and where some of those people are recovered under the current system? Does it make any sense at all to spend money on an early detection system? I mean, it's easy when it's not your money. Obviously, you're going to say, yes, they should do that no matter what the cost. They make billions of dollars in profit. They should spend that money. But let's put it like this. Let's put it in our own pocketbook, because you know, if they fit all of their ships with this early detection system, the cost of that is not coming out of their profit. They will meet their profit goals. The cost will result in higher cruise fares. How much would you pay to ensure that the one person out of every 7 million that's going to fall off of a cruise ship, how much extra would you pay per cruise to make sure that happens? I would probably pay $5. I would probably pay $20. But if my cruise is now going to cost $100 more or $200 more, I don't know that I would make the same decision. I value life. I don't want to see anybody pass away, but at the end of the day, those are the decisions that these cruise lines are making. Should they spend any money? Does it make sense to spend any money? And the consumer, do you want to spend more money to address this issue? Again, if the cost is minimal, and maybe it could be, I couldn't find any costs on this. If my cruise fare has to go up $5 so that we can save the one person out of 7 million, I would pay that money. It's worth that to me. But if my cruise went up $500, I don't know that I would choose that. So that sounds insensitive. I mean, it's a tough question, but this is the question that the cruise lines are facing. What is the ought? What ought they do? Is it their responsibility to go further than what they've already gone to make sure that people don't fall off of cruise ships, or that they can be rescued more efficiently? Anytime that you're dealing with human life, you obviously want to say, yes, let's go for the human life. But at the end of the day, this is a corporation that's making decisions about their own profitability, about the viability of their company, about how much they're going to charge their customer. So I'm not super shocked that I don't see them jumping on board to spend more money. The interactive part of the video is this: you are CEO for the day. deciding whether or not to spend this extra money to keep people safe. You still have to hit your profit numbers. So to make this decision, you're going to have to charge the customer more. What do you do? It's one of those dilemmas. It's really sad when cruising becomes a matter of life and death. These stories are another reminder, cautionary tale, that not everything that you do in life is safe. Not everything on a cruise ship is safe. Situational awareness is key in all of these situations. If you're somebody that's going to drink and you're going to have a good time, make sure that you have a plan how to stay safe. And even if you're just up on the deck, make sure that you are paying attention to what you do, because if you go overboard, the odds of surviving are not great, and it's one of the risks of a cruise ship. It's not a very big risk, but is definitely one of the risks. If you're new here, you like the video, please hit the like button. Consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Come join us on Facebook at the Lido Loca Cruising Community, and I've got some more videos for you popping up right here. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is Tony with Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.